My girlfriend snooped through my phone, got the timeline wrong, and accused me of cheating years ago. I broke up with her, but my family thinks I reacted too harshly. For our anniversary, my girlfriend and I took a weekend trip to a coastal town about 3 hours away. We spent the entire Saturday doing the typical tourist things, walking the boardwalk, trying street food, and taking photos. At dinner, she ordered a few cocktails. She's usually not a drinker, but she insisted she wanted to celebrate. By the time we returned to the hotel, she was definitely tipsy. I kicked off my shoes and turned on the TV, relaxing in the air conditioning. Suddenly, out of nowhere, she dropped a bomb. She told me she had gone through my phone while I was showering earlier and knew I had cheated on my ex fiance back in 2018. She said she could never marry a cheater and that she had been holding on to this information. I was stunned. I told her flatly that I had never cheated on anyone. I was engaged in 2018, yes, but I'm a digital hoarder. I never delete photos or old message threads. I have data going back over a decade. She had scrolled deep into my archives and found photos of me with another woman dated January 2019. In her mind, that was proof I was unfaithful to my ex. I tried to explain the reality. My ex and I broke up in late 2018. The photos she found were from after the relationship ended. She refused to listen. She started shouting, calling me names, and screaming that I wasn't marriage material. I offered to show her the actual time-stamped text to prove the breakup date, but she waved me off, preferring her own narrative. The room felt suffocating. When she went into the bathroom, I grabbed my wallet and went down to the lobby. I asked hotel security to accompany me back to the room so I could grab my bag without a scene. Even with a guard present, she tried to block the door and physically stop me from leaving. The guard had to intervene verbally. Shaking, I threw my toiletries, charger, and a shirt into my bag. She cycled between begging me to stay and screaming at me. I walked out, got in my car, and drove to my cousin's house in a neighboring city to crash for the night. The next morning, I woke up to a wall of text messages. She called me a terrible person for abandoning her at the hotel and reiterated that she couldn't trust me. It made me feel sick. I knew I hadn't cheated on her, and I hadn't cheated on my ex. I wanted facts, not her drunken fiction. I needed a plan. I called my mom and best friend. Both told me to protect myself and set boundaries. I decided to stay in my hometown for a few days to give her time to move her stuff out of my apartment. She had texted me in a rage saying she'd be gone by Thursday, so I decided to hold her to that. On Sunday night, I returned briefly to my place. I slept in the guest room with the door locked and my phone under my pillow. I left early Monday morning before she woke up. During the drive, I still felt a need to vindicate myself. I stopped at a roadside cafe, opened my laptop, and did a deep dive into my cloud archives. I searched for the final conversation with my ex-fiancé. I found it. The breakup texts were clearly dated November the 2018. The photos my girlfriend saw were from months later. I typed out a final email. I told her we were done. I reiterated that I expected her out by Thursday. I told her that her name-calling and lack of trust were unforgivable. Then, I attached the screenshot of the breakup text from 2018, proving she was wrong. She replied almost instantly. Her tone shifted completely. She said we both hurt each other and needed to process. She tried to apologize for the name-calling, claiming she was just scared of getting hurt. I shut it down. I told her an apology didn't fix the fact that she violated my privacy, ignored the truth, and tried to hold me hostage in a hotel room. I said I was being clear, not cold. I reminded her of the Thursday deadline and stopped responding. That was my line in the sand. However, my mom is now saying I was too harsh for leaving her alone at the hotel in a strange city while she was intoxicated.